Now welcome back everybody to the land of Antarctica land. It's a continent, I forgot, yeah. Yeah, Antarctica, probably one of the most interesting places on this planet. It's all just ice, but that's another story. What is really interesting about Antarctica is really accessing it as a human, because of course we all here as humans can visit Antarctica. Now, how to get there is the question. Now, of course, the most popular way to get to Antarctica is by ship or boat or whatever that actually looks quite nice. But of course, you can also get to Antarctica by plane. Most of the planes that actually fly there look like this. That's, for example, the C-17. The problem about Antarctica is indeed that most of the runways here are actually made of ice. And that can make landings a little bit slippery. I mean, they have tried it before here with some airliners, but it's, you know, not very nice to land on ice runways. Let me just say that. But the question is, well, is there any airport in Antarctica that doesn't necessarily have an ice runway? Well, there is. Welcome to British Rotorua. And as you can see, it's got a runway. And this is a new add-on here for the flight simulator. I mean, look at this. Here we are, already spawned in. Right now, we are on board quite a special plane, the Embraer Bandeirante. A plane used worldwide for drugs, basically. And I mean, just look at this. We have actually got some sort of runway, which is quite crazy to think about since we are, again, in Antarctica. Like, I wouldn't expect to fly, like, actual planes here on an actual some sort of runway. Here we go. Let's go ahead and take off. I think this is going to go very nicely. The only problem, though, about this runway is the size. It's not that huge, but also look at how well this thing is all modeled. And there's someone else here in the multiplayer, actually. Very beautiful runway here indeed in Antarctica. Look at this. By the way, if anyone wanted to know, the Rotorua research station is right here, and most of the traffic actually comes from the Falklands Islands. Here we go, and this is down here, our little base. Now, in real life, planes like this are used at the station. The DHC-6 Twin Otter, a plane that can fly everywhere, but come on, that's way too boring. We need something a little bit more airlinery. You know, what if you wanted to take your little jet to the Antarctic? I mean, it's quite a realistic thought. What if you wanted to take your private jet out on a little trip to Antarctica? All right, come on, here we go. Yes. Oh, there's something crossing the runway, by the way. Okay, let's go ahead and actually land right here. This was a little late, but let's go ahead and stop. I think this is going to work quite well here. And yes, I did switch private jets because the other one wouldn't work, but that's another story. Here we go. This one worked, and there we go. Citation CJ4, which has enough range to actually reach, you know, the South America, worked perfectly fine. And there's someone else here in the multiplayer again. Jesus. I mean, here we go. You know what? I do really kind of respect this airport. It's quite nice. It's quite flyable as well. Look at this. I mean, I've tried landing in Antarctica before here in the flight simulator, and most of the places were not very usable. This one is a very usable runway. I like this. So let's try like a bigger plane or something like that. Because, you know, why not? Like a proper airliner now. Alrighty. Okay, so this might be a little bit of a big step right here. This is the Embraer 175, and this is a little bit of a bigger plane than the Citation jet. This is probably going to go horribly wrong, but I mean, you know, this is a Brazilian plane, so it can fly from its home country to Brazil. Now, just assume the gender of the Embraer 175. What am I doing? All right, let's try this landing anyway, though. This might just work. Oh my. I'm sorry about that, little Embraer. Jesus Christ. But why are always some of these weird trucks here with what is that even? Why are they always crossing the runway, dude? I mean, does this look like a public road or something like that? Okay, it doesn't really look like a runway either, but you know. I mean, okay, maybe let's try this with a nice arrival. Maybe with a butter landing as well here in this Embraer. And as you can see, by the way, this is the plane that has some weird physics that are extremely responsive. I don't know what's going on with this plane. It's coming for a landing. Come on. Here we go. Oh yeah, there we go. A bit of a hard landing, not butter, but let's go ahead and stop this. Come on. Yes. Nice stop here, right here in Antarctica. Perfect. Totally made for airliners. So yeah, United, you can fly here now. Great. You know, United Express, more like Polar Express, and just look how this plane looks. The physics are absolutely broken. This looks like a dolphin, and what has that landing been? Jesus Christ. But that's worked, everybody. We've stopped nicely. All right, and let's keep it funky. Welcome back on board the A320, everybody. I do kind of like this plane. Let's go ahead and get it nicely landed. I mean, look, this runway literally has poppy lights. This is very well equipped of a runway. I like this. Okay, let's come in for a landing. Make this maybe nice. Who knows? Here we go. Okay, that's been all right. Let's come in for a stop. Nice. Yeah, planes actually don't really trouble that much with stopping. Maybe the A3, come on, A320. I'm fully stepping into the brakes because this is going to be a little bit of a cold one. You really don't want to be overrunning here at this airport. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, overrunning probably is a very bad idea here. Pretty cold. Yeah, especially when we now go on for bigger planes, we should probably try really landing as early as possible using most of this runway, because this is about to go wrong. But okay, this was a nice landing and we did stop after all, so that's all we basically want. And we have another Twin Otter here on the ground, the plane that normally does fly here. Okay then, great, let's move on to a bigger plane. This is probably going to go horribly wrong. Great. So there's one problem about the planes that we've flown so far to this interesting base station, and that is that, you know, these planes are not very long-haul planes. They cannot fly from, for example, Europe or America land to this base. So let's maybe try a long-haul jet. 7710 Dreamliner. This thing can basically fly around the world, so this is going to be interesting. Yeah, for example, KLM could fly here from the Netherlands. But it'll be a long flight. Yeah, probably like 17 hours, 18 hours. So let's pretend we just had a flight for 18 hours and are now coming in for a landing here at our base. I think this is going to go horribly wrong. Great. Okay, we are very fast. Oh, goodness. Okay, this is going to be hard, okay? Let's prepare for a hard landing. There we go. Let's go and stop this plane. Come on, we need all you've got now, 787. Otherwise, you'll be sitting in the cold, quite literally. Come on. Stop. Fully into the brakes down here. Come on. Yes, we are stopping. We have stopped a 787 in Antarctica on this runway. Jesus. You know what? Honestly, this has not been that much. Okay, this was a hard landing. Never mind. I'm sorry, little 787. You know what? It's actually been quite crazy so far. All these planes were very alright with landing here. Alright, so let's come in here for a nice landing here in the butter machine with a pink cockpit. That's just great to see. Come on, calmly get this plane landed. This runway isn't even all too short. It's almost at 1,000 meters, so it isn't all too bad. And we're gonna... Uh-oh. Go away! Why are you guys always sitting on the runway? No! Alright, that's it. Alright. Well, I'm in the cockpit. I'm not dead. You're now inside of the engine, dude. Okay, come on. Stop the plane, because I don't want to be in cold water either. Come on, stop yourself, A330. Here we go. It's actually worked. The A330 is quite bigger than the 787. Alright, let me give the butteriness of this landing a little bit of a look right here. Here we go. You know what? I'll take that. That was not even all too bad. Alright, so apparently pretty much anything can land here, but there's one little problem I have with this runway. And that is probably taking off, especially big planes. What? Big planes, I mean, what the hell? I mean, again, this is more of a, not as much of like a asphalt runway, but more of like a rough, I don't know, something surface, right? And that means stopping is gonna go very nice, but I'm not quite sure about the takeoff. Let's maybe try to simulate that as well. Here we go, parking brake off. We are on board a 747-8. Maybe this takeoff is gonna work as well. Here we go, we are gaining speed quite nicely. I mean, this would be awesome. Just imagine having a 747 flying here. You know, for adequate prices, maybe. Pretty much anyone could fly to Antarctica, maybe. Maybe Ryanair could go here. Man, that's a bad idea. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, a little bit of water action. Okay, but we were very close to taking off. Do you guys see that? Here we go, just a little bit of surfing, and that's all we need. Perfect. So yeah, that is Antarctica, everybody. And thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, as always. Good night.
Now thank you to my members here on YouTube like Block, Emite, Mubarak, Mike, Ethan, Darren, Stefan, Ian, Oman the Human, Rafael Brukowski, Junk in the Trunk, Moritz, Toby, Great Grandpa John, Government Pasta, Calamity Airlines, Kelly Chaos, New York, Tyler Park, Cheese Doritos, Shadow, Anime Planes 001, X-Men Show, Deslama, Futuring, Kellen, Me By You, Captain Cameron, Spiro, Gary, Norwegian, Bajel, and Parology.